Hello, guys and gals, me Mudahar, and welcome to another episode of Dank Web Browsing. Today, this would make it episode number 104, ladies and gentlemen. I have to look to the right to see what we logged it as, but today it's another Sunday, as you can tell, for you, not for me. We're going to sit back, look at the side of the internet, a little too dank for regular viewing, see what we come out with. Ladies and gentlemen, hopefully you enjoy what we have for you today. Let's go to our very first website. And that rushed intro is the best rushed intro I might have ever done, dude. Sometimes it's like Las Vegas gambling with that shit, dude. You never know what you're going to get until you film it, right? So here you got the exposed news, exposing what the alternative media is too afraid to expose. Now, please, as you can tell, with the mentioning of Pope Francis is going to be about religion, let's not turn this into a fucking, turf battle down in the comments section. As always, I got to mention that. As you can see, this is actually titled all the way back in 2015. This is quite an old meme. It's not exactly spicy anymore. Well, we have yet to find out. So the Ninth Circle Secret Society exposed Jesuit Pope Francis, I probably fucking mispronounced that, found guilty of child trafficking, rape, and murder. Now, these are some serious fucking allegations, so we're gonna have to sit there and figure the fuck out what's going on here. Again, this is what the this is what the media is too afraid to expose. Alright, let's fucking see what this is about. Alright, so basically, 5 judges of the International Common Law Court of Justice in Brussels determined that the crimes occurred as recently as 2010. Since last March, over 48 eyewitnesses have come forward to testify before the ICL-CJ court about the defendants' activities as members of the Ninth Circle Satanic Child Sacrifice cult. Wow. All right. Well, first website here, and we're already jumping right into child sacrifice cults, dude. I haven't looked at fucking some satanic shit in a while. The Ninth Circle Satanic Cult was set to do child sacrifices at Roman Catholic cathedrals in Montreal, New York, Rome, Scotland, London, Carnarvon Castle in Wales, and an undisclosed French chateau in Holland, and at Canadian Catholic and Anglican Indian residential schools in Kamloops, British Columbia, and Brantford, Ontario. Wow, actually, Brantford is not fucking far from where I am, dude. So apparently we got some child sacrifices going on near where I live, dude. Canada's not exactly the safest fucking country you could ever imagine, right? I don't know, dude. Again, I don't know. I think these are allegations. I don't know if it's exactly proven or not. Let's find out. The Ninth Circle Satanic Child Sacrifice cult was believed to use privately owned forest groves in the US, Canada, France, and Holland for their human hunting parties for global elites, including members of European royal families. Teens were said to be obtained by the mafia, then stripped naked, raped, hunted down, and killed. Chief prosecutor said the Catholic Church is the world's largest corporation and appears to be in collusion with the mafia, government, police, and courts worldwide. Hey, these are some massive fucking charges to you bringing out, but you know what this kind of reminds me of, to an extent, obviously not with the whole, stripping naked, rape, and hunting down kind of shit, is that you ever watch this movie called The Conspiracy and shit? It's a really good, found footage movie, okay? For those of you who don't know, it starts off as, this pseudo-documentary thing onto this one dude who's, looking up 9/11 facts and shit. And then it sort of boils into, basically what happens is this dude is, a conspiracy theorist. He disappears, and then the people who are making this documentary hunt down the actual people behind the conspiracy. And at one point, they get to this, place where they have, I guess, this human hunting party, as it's stated over here. It's a really fucking interesting movie, by the way, too. If you ever have the chance, actually go check it out. I think it's actually on YouTube anyways. At least that's where me and some of the guys watched it. So, anyways, a little fucking me branching off, to the side. 2 adolescent women told the ICL-CJ court that Pope Francis raped them while participating in child sacrifices. 8 other eyewitnesses confirmed their allegations of being witness to... Wow, okay, so I've never heard of this. Again, I don't actually look this stuff up, but I think... I look at the news often, every fucking morning I'll see what happens in the news. I think I would have seen this shit, even back in 2010 or whatever, if this was occurring. You think this would be such a big fucking deal that it would be international attention everywhere. Even if the court case was going on, I've never fucking heard of it. You can go with the fact that maybe Pope Francis and crew and all the elites probably got it stamped the fuck out. But even then, you think people would still talk about it, right? There'd still be videos and shit on YouTube at the time covering the topic, that would be a thing, right? But apparently it isn't. You think Keemstar was probably who was actually, I think, doing Drama Alert at the time, or at least that's when he fucking started, would have covered this topic, right? At least fucking mentioned it to an extent. This is some big fucking gaping news, but whatever, though. Pope Francis was also found to be a perpetrator in satanic child sacrifice rites while acting as an Argentine priest and bishop, according to a sealed document obtained from the Vatican archives. A second record dated December 25, 1967, called the Magisterial Privilege, was set to show that every new pope was required to participate in ninth circle satanic cult ritual sacrifices of newborn children, including drinking their blood. See, I never understood this. Like, if that was actually the fucking case, though, and that was retrieved from Vatican archives, like, you think the Catholic Church would get fucking stamped out in a day, right? If they found out that they were doing some satanic child sacrifices and shit, but I don't know, dude. So then a BBC documentary exposed a 50-year scandal of child trafficking by the Catholic Church in Spain. Yeah, actually take me to that BBC documentary. Open that shit up if you can, because I would like to see that. Over 300,000 babies were stolen from their parents up until the 1990s. Mothers were told their babies died and were buried in mass graves. The Catholic Church is said to have made $20 billion on the adoption. Jesus Christ, that's a lot of fucking dineros. Another witness testified that they were present during Pope Francis's meetings with the military junta during Argentina's 1970s dirty war. According to the witness, Pope Francis helped traffic 30,000 children of missing political prisoners into an international child exploitation ring run by an office of the Vatican. Dude, this is some fucking movie-grade shit. Apparently the page does not want to connect to anything. It connects to a clear web link, which apparently is taken down, so... You know, maybe the theory that it got stamped out has some fucking ounce of credibility, right? And now you got an ABC News special. Okay, let's open that up at least. Oh, it links to the same fucking site. It's probably not... That site itself is dead. Hinted that the devil resided at the Vatican. Documents from Vatican secret archives presented to court clearly indicate that for centuries, the Jesuits had a premeditated plan to ritually murder kidnapped newborn babies and then consume their blood. Wow, this gets fucking intense, dude. Holy shit. And then they got, like, you know, the whole thing ends over here. Now, as far as I've seen, there is actually no talking about this whole entire story. There's, like, one blogger who liked this, which means that it got fucking stamped out, or it was unpopular to begin with, which is weird. The site that it links to doesn't fucking exist anymore. If you go around over here, it lists more interesting facts, too. A lot of them regarding Canada as well. Arrest warrants on people versus Bergoglio et al. Were issued on 2014. Court records would remain sealed for now, according to yesterday's ITCCS press release. 50,000 missing Canadian native children. 50,000 native children are missing from those Canadian and mainly Catholic-owned residential schools. Over 34 child mass grave sites have been identified at some of those 80 native residential schools across Canada. I wish he had more, like, I wish for some reason this guy had, like media to go along with it, right? Like pictures of the kidnapped kids or these mass graves that they talk about. I mean, I don't want to see them, just primarily, but I wish they had some, like, more tangible evidence attached. But from what it seems like, it seems as though, like, some of the bigger, like, big play countries in the world, you know, right here it mentions Canadian, Australian, UK, and the US military and governments, including the United States CIA, businessmen of the US, Belgium, Holland, Canada, Australia, France, Ireland, and the UK were all fucking involved. So apparently, from what this site really details, this is the first time I'm hearing about it, the Ninth Circle Secret Society, which is a satanic child sacrifice cult, apparently, that's run by some of the biggest organizations in the world, existed. And to the point, the Pope is involved, everyone's fucking involved, politicians, businessmen from all over the fucking world are all involved. Which, like, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but say this is a reality, I guess I can't be surprised that the entire topic got, like, stamped down. You know what I mean? Like, if something's as big as this, it's going to get stamped the fuck out, right? But at the same time, I think, given the fact that we have so much media today now, there would be people talking about it. I mean, look at this fucking video, for example. I'm not blaming anyone I'm just looking at what's written on a fucking website. Again, this could either all be bullshit, or it could be truth, or something in between. But you think even back in 2010, or 2015 when this was posted, somebody would have looked at it, looked deeper into it, and found maybe a shred of truth to it. So I don't think this is real, but then again, fuck, man, the world is a weird-ass place, so shit, let's get into something else, dude. I don't want to fucking get, shot through the head or anything. This is some fucking spooky shit. So this is the underground experts again. You might notice a lot of the files we find from them, and they are one of the more popular files I guess you find on the deep web. So over here you have acid human terrorism. Again, we don't condone anything over here, but we just look at what we really find. This is a file that you should use if you really want to hurt someone. It could be used on anyone, your parents, your girlfriend, your mates, or why not your teachers. Read the instructions and wait for the right time and strike. All right, we don't fucking support any of this. We're just reading at what they fucking write. Again, these are some of the edgier people over here. They don't even fucking exist anymore. So number one is a party drink. So you're at a party, at a special party, and there's this jerk you just can't stand. Fill 1/3 of the glass with acid, acetone, or anything that looks clear and smells strong. Add some ice and a nice umbrella for maximum effect. Later on in the party, when your friend has got very unsober, give him the glass. He will probably drink it without a sign of pain and walk away to peacefully die somewhere else. Holy fuck, you're just going to give somebody straight up acid? And that's fucked up, dude. Because, if you ever had, an alcoholic beverage, right, and you're when you start drinking, it hurts, obviously. At least, it'll burn your fucking throat and everything. But when you're, at that stage... Here, I'm thinking of fucking drinking, and it's shots themselves are the weakest point. But say you're in that moment of drinking, right? And you're in between sober and drunkenness, you're not gonna fucking feel that shot hardcore. So it's this motherfucker drank legit acid and fucking died, dude. I mean, you're drinking poison anyways, but this is legit gonna kill you. This is fucking drinking bleach. Next is the eye remover. Your girlfriend or mother or father or equal uses eyedroppers for some cost. Sneak into the bathroom and empty the dropper and replace the stuff with acid. This is very... Fuck me, dude. These guys are edgelords, for fuck's sake. Number 3 is a mouth remover. So when none of your friends are using eyedroppers, maybe they're using these plaque things that you wash your mouth with before you brush them. I have studied people who use plaques. I think he means Listerine and shit, and they never smell or sip the fluid. They just drink it because they know it tastes good every day. Just replace it with something strong and watch their tongues flush down the toilet. Number 4 is rectum remover. Okay. So your friend either uses eyedroppers or plaques. Maybe he's using enema. Many people who got problems with their stomach use handy rectal syringes that you can buy in 30 packs. Replace with, oh God, that makes my asshole clench. Nice clothes. Who can stand these snobbish ass-licking creeps who walk around at schoolwork and look at you like you were a low-budget human? Hide a bottle of surf. Anytime I see somebody do that shit, I've had that happen to me. They just look like a fucking tool. Everyone fucking hates you anyways. It's what the fuck, dude? So, whatever. Hide a bottle of sulfuric acid in your locker or desk, and next time the jerk walks by, pour some into a glass, not too much, then walk behind them and throw it onto their backs. They will not feel anything, but their clothes will disappear quickly. This can also be fun to do on random people on the street. Dude, you're giving prank channels a really shitty idea. They already do fucking awful pranks right now, they do some fucking Facebook Gawker level crap. You're telling them to throw acid on people? They'll actually believe it, dude. You're gonna see that fucking prank channel shit pull that stuff off. Number 6 is flower power. Many people love flowers. Maybe your neighbor, the dick who shot your cat last week. My neighbor's not that. My neighbor's not an asshole, dude. I don't know. Maybe next time he's about to give them some water, let your friend distract him for a minute while you pour a liter of acid into a bucket of water. Even if there's 5 liters of water in the bucket, 1 liter is more than enough to kill all the plants he feeds. Number 7, something to try on the complete idiot. Okay, so if somebody has a brain cell count that's fucking in the negatives, this is what it's for. Get a little, they owe brain cells to God themselves, because... that fucking stupid. Get a little bottle of glass and write test 1 on it. Then write a note that says, we have discovered that the substance increases the size of a normal human penis with 1/3 of the original size in less than a year. Simply pour the liquid over the forehead and stuff it all into a box and write the address of some non-existent chemistry lab on it. Place it on the street, and there's a good chance that some idiot will find it and steal it. He will go home, he will open it, and he will read the note and try it because you never know, it might work. But he will soon discover that 1/3 of his penis is gone instead. There's loads of other ways to terrorize your fellows with acid, but I can't remember any more right now. Anyway, I hope you got your brain to start thinking. And then they got and again, it's by the Home of Underground Experts United. So what the fuck have we learned today? All right, it's don't do any of this shit. And if you ever see any product on the street that says your dick's gonna grow larger by 1/3, you probably don't want to use it. I'm just giving you a fucking pointer right now. You ever watch porn and you see, this fucking 18-year-old discovered the trick that all porn stars hate? It's bullshit. All right, there's no way to make your dick grow bigger by fucking, weird ass penis pumps and shit. All right, just don't be a fucking idiot. And don't remove anybody's rectum. In fact, don't do any of this shit. That's my legal briefings for the day. Let's go to another website. And ladies and gentlemen, this brings us to our deep web video of the week, coming in at about 1 minute and 30 seconds, ladies and gentlemen. We're about to see some dank shit that's going to definitely take us to a side of the internet that we didn't think was possible at one point. I'm just making stuff up at this point. As you can see on the screen, we have a hallway filmed in this fisheye lens bullshit, and we've got the middle area given a nice mosaic block sensor. I don't know what the fuck they could be hiding. Well, let's hit play and see what this is all about. Well, thanks. I didn't need my ears anyways. We're walking through, obviously, what appears to be a hotel room, and we're hearing some shit. I don't know what they're really censoring in the fucking middle out there, but whatever it is. What the fuck? Obedience? What? How it feels. Couldn't understand that. Help us? What are they censoring? Is somebody, like, there or what? Dude, whatever it is, it's some good-ass quality. Okay, it just ends. I swear, I thought we were gonna get a fucking screamer for the first time in the series right there. So, at the end, you get this fucking scream. It says something about the darkness, and then it zooms into this censored fucking, this censored shit. Which, like, if you look at it, they fucking failed to mosaic censor it, or maybe that was left intentional, and you can see it's 217. Now, whatever they were trying to censor over here, I couldn't really picture it through it, but basically what the video was somebody talking over, obviously, somebody was just obviously talking to us through it, but you couldn't really understand it because the distortion was too fucking strong, and I'm not going to go back and try to clear it out. I mean, you could, but it's some fucking weird-ass distortion shit that's going through over here. Now, the video itself, most of it, is just walking through this nice-looking hotel, I guess. It's got this sort of oldish charm to it. If you can look at the elevator on the side, like it's something you see in, like, I guess an older hotel, or maybe it's there to look a little more ritzy. I mean, the hotel looks fucking relatively new. Or, I mean, this might not even be a hotel. This might just fucking be an apartment complex or something of the sort, right? But then you go up over here, you got this, like, nice living room style deal with, like, this fireplace. Again, I don't know what the fuck the sensor, like, mosaic block could be hiding. I think it's just added there for dramatic effect. But, like, say you go around over here, it actually moves from one point. Like, over here you can actually see, like, they have a legit cut. If I can just, Oh, no, I was wrong. They didn't actually have they have some cuts going through it. But whatever it is, they're hiding. Now, I don't think that there's anybody walking around over there. Because, like, you like... As cryptic as the mosaic block is, you can sort of make out if there would be somebody through it. I don't think that anybody is through it. They just have a random block that floats around. Here, it just fucking totally disappears. And you go through this video long enough, it doesn't show up at all until the next cut when they're above, right? Now, of course, if you go back a little bit, nobody even shows up in this general area either. Whatever it is, it's something that's completely fucking, gonzo. And then you zoom in, obviously, over here, and again, you can make out the fact in that, like, all of one frame, really, because everything else is blurry. It counts 217. So, apparently, room 217 in this unspecified hotel is supposedly very important. Now, of course, if you can try to decipher what was actually being said, be my guest. But I don't think there's much more to this. It just seems to be some weird, spooky video made to spook the fuck out of people. We're going to back out and hopefully see something a little less, something that makes a little more tangible sense. This whole episode has been kind of nonsensical and conspiracy-ridden. Love it. So this is Shifting Timelines or something like that. And this talks about transhumanism. Now, I remember like months ago, I think almost a year ago, somebody was like, Muda, find some stuff on transhumanism. And I didn't really find anything at the time, but I guess it was as close as we really get with the actual fucking title, transhumanism. But the way this is like read out over here kind of weirds me the fuck out. And I'll tell you what I mean over there. Now, you can get the audio version of this. It's about an hour and 12 minutes long. Of course, the actual article itself, as you can tell, is really fucking long. Like, it goes into a lot of shit. But I've got some talking points after I look through it a little bit. Over here, as you can see, it talks about transhumanism. This is by Lisa Renee, and it says, Dear Ascending Family. Now, I found that a little weird of a way to mention people. Like, what does it mean by Dear Ascending Family, right? We are standing at the precipice of a massive evolutionary transformation that impacts the future development of the human race on this planet. Will we evolve as organic living consciousness or potentially be infected and hijacked by artificial dead intelligences? Many of us can sense the red carpets of AI being rolled towards humanity from multiple angles. Now, AI is an interesting thing. For a lot of people, who've really been into the tech industry, know that artificial intelligence is something that we've always toyed with, but especially in today's day and age, it's something that we're really putting money into and researching with a lot of with a lot of intensity. What I mean by that is AI could really be anything. For example, if you have an iOS device, you'll notice that Siri exists on the platform. Siri, to an extent, is an AI, right? Like, it's something that will continuously keep learning. It's something that can, at least converse and get things done, and it serves a little bit of a role of an artificial intelligence. Microsoft has their Cortana platform. Google has, I think it's Google Assistant, Google Now, Google Voice, whatever they want to really call it. And everyone is slowly developing their own form of AI. Now, of course, is it AI that you see in science fiction or something like that? No, not yet, not by a long shot. But could that eventually be the end, the AI path? Of course, it totally could. There are ways that we're finding out. Even if you look at AI like, Forza 5's, Forza 6, Forza 7's Drivatar system, or whatever. For those of you who don't know, the Xbox One typically stores all of your inputs for that game into the cloud, and the cloud basically creates a profile of how every player drives, and the AI then learns from every single player and then attributes that to an online playground, meaning that the more people that play it, the more the AI learns, and the more the AI can act like a real person to give you a more realistic feel. And that's one aspect of AI. There's many different aspects of it, so it's something that, I wanted to really kind of touch upon and mention before we continue further. The timeline is similar to the events that changed the course of history and radically digressed humanity's consciousness evolution after World War II. Previous to and throughout World War II, advanced alien technologies were exchanged with high-ranking Earth officials, which introduced these weapons to Earth. Pacts were made for continued military exploitation and experimentation, aimed at controlling the public. The timeline trigger event marks when off-planet aliens introduced advanced military-grade EMF weaponry to the main governmental powers of the Earth, further manifesting into cooperative agreements with the military-industrial complex, MILAB, and secret space programs. Scientific research and development of nuclear weapons programs, such as the Manhattan Project, were at beginning stages of creating more black military operations, which became offshoots from the principal laboratories of Los Alamos, New Mexico. The war began the race for nuclear arms and the development of newly introduced alien advanced technologies. The competition for world domination and military supremacy eventually extended to off-planet social experiments, and expanded the diversity of exopolitic agendas. Additionally, the development of hidden materialized electromagnetic radio waves, ELF, and microwave weaponry commonly applied on the planet today in psychotronic warfare began in earnest. So apparently this person so far, Lisa Renee, believes that aliens have came and given us some shit. This almost... Fuck, man, what is this, like the Death Stranding script, motherfucker? Did Kojima read this shit? Like, what the fuck? I mean, it kind of, because it has a lot of shit. Like, it mentions a lot of mathematical algorithms on the fucking left side of it, dude. It's crazy. Inorganic black holes allowed parasitic invasion. Now, that's something new. That's a mouthful. This greatly damaged and destroyed sections of the planetary grid system, creating electromagnetic anomalies and inorganic black holes, as well as adding pollution in the form of chemicals and waste products. The toxic dumping ground is obvious in the material realm and is present in the etheric body of the Earth down to the quantum level. These toxic waste products are energetic pollutants that infect many other dimensional realms and can be observed in membranes around the Earth where parasitic alien forces have infested. This planetary damage and toxic infestation greatly concerns many neighboring civilizations. This has instigated many benevolent extraterrestrial races in an attempt to open dialogues for diplomatic relations with the world's governments, which have been mostly refused thus far. Hence, the benevolent races regularly contact humans who are not involved in the enforcement of the controlling structures to openly support knowledge about extraterrestrial civilizations. So this shit is being dumbed down by the elites? What the fuck? Transhumanism is the international cultural and intellectual movement with an eventual goal of fundamentally transforming the human condition by making available technologies that greatly enhance human intellect, physical, and psychological capabilities. Many transhumanists believe in the compatibility between human mind and computer hardware. So it's kind of like that, if you ever heard of it, like the singularity, where at one point, you're gonna like our brain, like we're gonna fucking have this perfect combination of both biology and technology. So if you ever played the game Deus Ex, it's very similar to that. You know what I mean? Where people in the game become augmented through the use of cybernetic body parts. So it's sort of like the singularity at that point, or at least leading up to it. You know, that perfection, right? Where we combine ourselves with technology in such a perfect way that it evolves us to another level, right? That's sort of the whole thing with transhumanism. Now over here, they got the hacking the soul consciousness. Archons and many of these negative groups are inherently parasites that require human life force and must feed on consciousness energy to survive. The transhumanism movement is another level of the NAA satanic agenda. Oh, fuck, everything's got to be satanic, dude. To gain full control over the biological, neurological, and brain networks of human beings. Thus, controlling the human collective consciousness and mind control is about complete control over the central neurological system and controlling all impulses firing into the brain centers. This is why it is imperative to understand the science of ascension, mind control, and learn how to self-source all thought. Once technology or an entity has control over the human neurological system and brain, they easily hack into the soul and siphon consciousness energy. If they are successful in marketing transhumanism as the next sexy trend, made attractive with promises of human immortality and superhuman powers, they open the door wide to satanic forced possession of technologically hybridized human bodies. What? So, like, if we allow that shit, then, like, Satan's gonna fucking hack into our systems? That's fucked up, dude. That reminds me of a girl that told me that, like, because we're getting, like, fucking NFC shit, like, that's like the mark of the beast or some shit, dude. That's fucking messed, bro. So apparently black goo now, nanotech. Now we've seen black goo before. Nanotechnology is the manipulation of matter on an atomic, molecular, and supramolecular scale, and for our purposes of discussion on the quantum levels. Recently, the massive influx of cosmic rays and intergalactic plasma gases into the Earth's core and polar regions, along with the alien attempt to harvest and collect this new incoming energy source, has revealed the deeper purpose of black goo. Dude, this is fucking some Death Stranding shit, bro. What is this? The massive plasma gas transmissions are shifting the dark matter template in the Earth at the elemental level. This is being observed as transforming carbon allotropes that are present in fullerenes or buckyballs. Buckyballs. Carbon allotropes, such as fullerenes, are solids in normal conditions, but are changing their state of matter into liquid at some atomic scale at the massive amount of recent plasma gas exposure. Alright, so let's go into this more and more. Alien source black goo is programmed into the dark matter template of the Albion body and appears to have had its point of entry into Earth around the time of the Nephilim Wars. This alien black goo acts as a photosynthetic artificial intelligence elemental that mimics and controls carbon allotropes and how they function in the dodecahedron structures on Earth. It is clearly how the negatives have been accessing carbon. This is like some advanced tinfoil level shit, dude. Like, This isn't just regular conspiracies, motherfucker. This is advanced conspiracies, alright? You know what? We'll have to back out of this, alright? This is apparently a giant, like if you're looking at it, it doesn't fucking end, ladies and gentlemen. Lisa Renee is leading the charge, alright? This is by Tomas and Lisa. They have fucking looked knee-deep into this shit. Alright, like, we've been reading this, I've been looking into this, and this is just, it goes on and on and on. You know, it's not like some fucking, 7-Eleven conspiracy we saw last fucking week. No. This is advanced conspiracies, alright? we're going to have to back out of this and hopefully check out something that makes a little bit more tangible sense. Because right now, this is some fucking Matrix Death Stranding shit. And I'm going to need to understand it later. Let's set up something else, dude. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen. The straight dope. Fighting ignorance since 1973. It's taken a lot longer than we thought. I don't know what to tell you, man. Humans are fucking stupid. Who would have thought, right? Well, anyways, learn about Cecil Adams, world's smartest human. Oh, man, dude. I really want to ask this dude what his asshole smells like, because he's pretty far fucking up there. Let's listen to Cecil Adams, alright? This is like apparently the smartest fucking dude in the world. Cecil Adams is the world's most intelligent human being. He certainly knows how to get ads running on the fucking website. That's for damn sure. Alright? Cecil Adams is the world's most intelligent. We know this because he knows everything, and number two, he is never wrong. This has to be satire. Like, if this dude's actually that egotistical motherfucker, I'm buying this 2017 Lexus right up here. Interesting. It's got a disclaimer as well, too, which means you're gonna get oh, you love that shit. Fucking you're gonna fuck me in the ass, Lexus. This isn't about Lexus. How do we know that Cecil knows everything and is never wrong? Because he said so, and he'd never lied to us. No, really. Listen, read the columns. Soon you'll agree that this is no ordinary man. Alright. What do you... Yeah, this is definitely a joke. What do you mean columns? You're telling me the world's smartest human being works for the newspapers? We all gotta eat. Yeah, Cecil works for the newspaper. His syndicated weekly column, The Straight Dope, presently appears in more than 30 newspapers throughout the U.S. and Canada. Ballantine has published 5 collections of his work. Collections of his work. A Straight Dope TV show aired on the Arts and Entertainment Cable Network, and will be starting on the biopic as soon as we can line up Sylvester Stallone. Yeah, it's a fucking joke. But then again, I don't know about the Straight Dope. It probably was in the newspapers, but then again, last time I read a newspaper was a long fucking time ago. How come I've never seen the Straight Dope in print? You gotta start reading better newspapers. Oh, savage, dude. Just saying, anybody who rejected the Straight Dope, it's like, fuck off. You should have gotten the Straight Dope. Then your fucking newspaper wouldn't be in the shitter, bitch. That's all they're saying. When is a Straight Dope TV show on? It used to be on Sunday nights on A&E, but it was canceled. There was a lot of shit that came on A&E, dude. I wouldn't put that as a resputable network. Has there ever been a question that Cecil wouldn't answer? Well, let's see. He discussed the calorie content of sperm. That was pretty out there. He also... Why would you get that fucking question? What's the caloric count of sperm? Fuck you. That was pretty out there. He also dealt in a grave and educational manner with the issue of why fecal matter is brown. Actually, the question didn't say fecal matter, but we didn't want to get terminated for you newbies by the AOL robo-censors, which is where we first posted this FAQ. All right, well, you see, it seems like Cecil Adams is like, it's like Bill Nye, except he'll answer any fucking question, you know what I mean? Like he'll answer whatever the fuck you want, dude. So anyways, clearly Cecil Adams is a comedic individual. I think he's just fucking around with you. You'd have to be, fucking... You'd have to really believe this. But here you have, was the Apollo moon landing a hoax? Now this has been quite a popular topic that I've been fucking uncovering recently. Is the moon landing a fake from the United States? You know what I mean? Did the U.S. really land on the moon? Again, I don't want to offer any fucking thoughts of mine. After all, I'm a fucking idiot. All right, I read internet websites late at night, and frankly, I have no fucking thoughts on the reality of our moon landing. Whatever the fuck Americans did is what they did, dude. Let's just go into it. Dear Straight Dope, I was reading an online story about the anniversary of the first Apollo moon landing, and it mentioned that a very few folk maintain, nay, obsessively insist that it never happened, that none of the moon landings ever took place, except for on a movie set or in the Nevada desert. It sounds to me like the talk of someone who has a wee bit too much time on their hands. What's the Straight Dope? Did Armstrong and company walk on the moon or no? Now, because Cecil Adams is obviously true about everything, today we get the definitive answer. All right? If not today, then when? Yes, they walked on the moon. And yes, some people insist that they did not, and that it was all a huge conspiracy. You seem shocked at this, but remember, there are still folks maintaining that the Earth is flat. Dude, you just called out flat earthers, bro. Holy shit. Flat earthers are one of the few groups claiming the moon landing is a hoax. After all, the astronauts took photos showing around Earth, and they know that it isn't true, so it must be a hoax. You don't actually expect evidence to convince people like this, do you? Any piece of evidence that we would present would simply be to them a part of conspiracy. A good conspiracist can incorporate any piece of information into a big conspiracy without even blinking. Damn, Cecil Adams, you savage. He's like basically skull fucking these guys, man. Jeez. Calm down, dude. We need a bulletproof vest before we read these fucking websites. Christ. There have been several books written to promote this claim, and more articles. There was even a movie with a similar plot, Capricorn 1, starring O.J. Simpson. Oh, O.J., my boy. Not really. The difference was that in the movie, the fake landing was on Mars, not the moon. One group of flat earthers actually claim O.J. was framed by the government for exposing the fake moon. What? Oh, y'all. Oh, man, dude, Cecil Adams fucking... I'm not, dude. I'm just gonna sit in the corner, dude. You fire on these motherfuckers all you want, dude. Bob Mulford of the Inquiring Skeptics of Upper New York wrote a short article for the group's newsletter, The Y Files. The Y Files, really? Like, I mean, I know the X Files is like, copyrighted material, but you couldn't use the word fucking Y dash files. Like, couldn't be edgy and cool. You had to fucking go the '90s dad joke route of doing that. Discussing a recent book claiming the whole thing was a hoax. Apparently, a reviewer in a technical magazine aimed at radio astronomers actually gave the book a more or less positive review. He noted that the reviewer brought into one of the author's arguments, saying it was obviously a hoax because the photos brought back by the astronauts showed their footprints on the moon's soil. The author, what the fuck am I getting into, dude? I swear to God, let's go down into this motherfucker. Alright, so... let's go into it. In 1994, the Fortean Times had an article called The Moon Landing into Question. The article began that the idea that we went to the moon and that we were successful in our Apollo endeavors is so firmly embedded in the cultural lives of most people on this planet that to voice the opinion that this might be untrue smacks of paranoia. I can't argue with that. The article goes on to claim, in actual fact, mankind has no proof at all that we ever set foot on the moon, other than the photographs that NASA has elected to publish, which is simply untrue. We have the photos, the video, and audio. The testimony of all the men and women who worked on the various projects, the samples brought back, and the evidence of a conspiracy is from the photos themselves. And calling it flimsy, conspiracy is from the photos themselves. Well, I read that twice. For example, in the first photo he uses, the author supposedly analyzes the shadows, claiming to show that they are facing in different directions, meaning it was done with a very nearby light source. When I look at the same photo, however, I can't begin to imagine what this guy is going on about, even with the arrows he has kindly inserted to point this stuff out. In several of the other photos, his claims are simply wrong. He puts in arrows to show how things should be, but he doesn't line them up properly. To their credit, a number of readers responded and said the article was full of baloney, to put it nicely. They pointed out that the author didn't make allowance for three-dimensional objects, casting shadows on three-dimensional ground, that he didn't notice that they were using wide-angle lenses in some instances. In fact, the volume of letters were so great, they said it was the biggest response they'd ever had. Alright, so basically what he's fucking said is that fucking Cecil Adams just basically curb-stomped any conspiracy theorist mentioning flat Earth, which, trust me, we found more about. We'll look at that. And the fake moon landing. Now, I don't want to be harping on the fake moon landing too much. Again, I don't really fucking care what even happened at the end of the day, all right? Like, if America lied or they didn't, wow. It doesn't affect me in my daily life whatsoever. It might bring me some fucking lulls after I read the articles and Reddit posts later on. But hey, I'm going to stay far away from that burning ticking time bomb as time goes on. Now, the reality is like, if we even applied conspiracies to it, back in the day, landing on the moon was during the space race, right? So I wouldn't put it past the American government to lie about something to make them get the one step above the Soviet Union at the time, right? Like, it's one of those things that I think could have happened. But at the same time, for a country like the United States to have such an advanced space program at the time as well, I think that they legitimately could have. You know what I mean? Like, they absolutely... It's one of those things that go both ways, but the more and more I think about it, I don't think that America really has a reason to lie. It's not like the United States is a really poor country that can't afford to go to space. Of course they can. This is a country that makes a lot of money, and they spend a lot of money on frivolous shit sometimes, and I think that they totally could have went to the fucking moon. I don't think that they would lie, or if they did lie, it wouldn't make any sense to me, because when you have the ability, the money, the resources to go, you might as well go instead of fucking lie about it, right? That's just what I think. But hey, by all means, whatever could have happened, only a few select people really know the truth of that situation. And unfortunately, the truth is within their hands and we don't have access to it. I'm going to back out and hit up something else. And ladies and gentlemen, how could we not have a deep web episode without our little pet, sort of a little focal project of the last couple episodes is Kusumet's home. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we've got Google of Kusumet, again, still at 18% of developing the site. But I think on the to-do list is grow bigger than all the other sites. I think we saw that one before. But ladies and gentlemen, Kusumet is still on their way to make the most dankest website of all time. I'm going to hit the forums up again before we sort of back out and go hit up something else, really. The forums are usually the spiciest part. I'm going to see if somebody else posted or if it's actually getting a lot more popular, because last time we checked it, there was people from our camp, but I think there were some genuinely new people who are around over here. I don't think Kusumet really cares. I hope Kusumet doesn't care, dude. If you don't want me doing this, man, just let me know. I'll back off anytime. So over here, you've got a couple people, it seems to be added. Well, one user is currently online. Most other users were 2, so it seems like, I guess, he probably doesn't seem to have new people. But looking around in the miscellaneous, it seems to have a whole new section over here. They got some hacking, I guess you can tell over there. They got 6 posts for hacking, and then some general information, and then like miscellaneous. I think the posts aren't actual. No, the topics is still 1. Okay. But the posting is done by multiple people. So around over here, he's got password reuse and predictable passwords. Kusumet gives some general idea about, hey, motherfucker, don't use the predictable fucking password. Again, Kusumet, thank you very much. Kusumet's that fucking knight in shining armor for us, dude, at this point. But if we go to following words, which is fucking new entirely, it's a little game. All right, this is by Ray Keno. Interesting. It's a little game about saying a word, who is near the last word, and when you say a word, you can't say it again, you need to write another one. Sorry for my bad English. Example, internet, deep web, onion, and it goes endless. Let's start with a word. Okay, so we're playing a fucking game today, motherfucker. This is by Hi, who says stem. That's the stuff of my nightmares tonight, let me tell you. Stem, and then they go to tree. Kusumet got into it, all right. Tree to house. Kusumet's like house, startup of a hidden service. Startup of a hidden service, making said hidden service lucrative. Making said hidden service lucrative, selling homemade lemonade. You could just add anything to this fucking. You could add anything, dude. It's selling homemade lemonade to developing Lemonade Tycoon 2. I think EA made that fucking game, dude. Back when EA used to make some somewhat decent shit going on. But all right, it seems like Kusumet's. It seems like at Kusumet's forums now they've started to play some games. So, hey man, with an 18% completion rating, I might give it a pass on like the next week's videos. Just focus on other stuff, because hey, let it ferment a little bit more before checking in. Don't open the pot too much, or else it'll never really cook, right? So let's back out and go hit up something aside from Kusumet. A little foray back, but I think we're going to sort of put it on the burner for maybe an episode or two. See it back when it's a little more developed, right? Let's hit up some other shit. And ladies and gentlemen, that was another episode of Dank Web Browsing. I think we've seen quite a fair bit of conspiracy stuff today. I learned about a secret satanic society, and we read a fucking scientific version of condemning satanic societies. Seems like a lot of Satanism's really been mentioned today. But I think that being said, we're going to sort of back out of this, and hopefully you all have enjoyed today's episode. A lot has been learned. My fragile brain has been hit by conspiracies after conspiracies. I'm going to say, if you like what you saw, please like, comment, and subscribe. Dislike it if you dislike it. Let me know what you thought about today's lovely video. I hope you all enjoyed it, at least. This is me, Mudahar. Have a great Sunday. I'm out.